For voice mock number 2, 10 minutes of dictation. The following is your word list. Sharon Lynn Jones, Sherry, Jack, Rusty Beck, Judy Frank, Susie Scheck, D.E. Beck Jr., Gardens Under Glass, Van Nuys, Saticoy, La Cienega, Imperial Bank, Los Angeles, Birmingham, Valley College, Herbert, ESL Development, Smith, South Wind Circle, Westlake, Calabasas.
And for defense attorney number 2, I'm Ms. Moran.
For defense attorney number 1, I'm Mr. Levy.
I'm the witness.
For plaintiff attorney, Mr. Cassiopo. And I will be starting with a question. Ready? Okay, have you ever used a name other than the legal name that you gave me at the beginning of this deposition?
Sharon Jones, or Sharon L. Jones. I don't go fully by Sharon Lynn Jones.
Do you have any nicknames you've ever used?
When I was a little girl, it was Sherry Lynn.
But you don't use that anymore?
No, I don't.
Okay, and are you currently married?
Yes, I am.
And what is your husband's name?
Jack?
And that is the gentleman to my right?
Yes.
Okay, and when were you married?
In 1977.
Okay, have you ever been married prior to that time?
No.
Do you have any children?
3.
And how old are they?
12 and a half, 8, and just turned 5.
Okay, this may sound like a ridiculous question, and it probably is, but have you ever discussed any matters that pertain to this lawsuit or the transaction that's the subject of this lawsuit with your children?
Not the subject of the lawsuit. They asked what I am doing today, and I said I'm going to an attorney's office.
Okay, but you haven't talked to them about the loans that were given to Rusty Beck?
No.
Okay, do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have 2 sisters.
Okay, and what are their names?
Judy and Susie. Judy Frank and Susie Scheck.
And how old are they, respectfully?
Respectively, Judy turned 40 and Susie is turning 39.
And where do they reside?
Judy lives in Agoura and Susie lives in Santa Monica.
Have you ever discussed this lawsuit with either or both of them?
I might have mentioned to my sister Judy that we are being sued.
Okay, did you ever get into any detail with her?
No, none.
And you haven't discussed this lawsuit with your other sister?
No.
Okay, have you discussed with either of them the transaction that brought about this lawsuit, namely a loan to a D.E. Beck Jr.?
I don't think so.
Do you recall discussing, strike that, do you recall discussing this lawsuit with anybody else other than your attorney, Mr. Jones, or your husband or your sister?
Oh, I probably have mentioned it to a girlfriend.
Okay, have you gone into any detail?
I don't really know the detail to go into it specifically.
So your answer is no. You haven't gone into any detail?
Probably not.
Have you discussed the loan transaction, and I'm referring to, again, a loan to D.E. Beck Jr. in June of 1991? Did you discuss that with anybody other than the persons that I outlined before?
I don't remember. Possibly a girlfriend.
What was that girlfriend's name?
I don't know who I would have discussed it with. I'm just covering myself.
Oh, okay. So you may have...
I might have mentioned something that I'm in a deal.
But you don't recall specifically doing that?
No, that's why I'm covering myself here. I might have.
Okay, are you currently employed?
No.
Okay, is your husband currently employed?
He owns his own business.
What's the name of that business?
Gardens Under Glass.
And what is the nature of that business?
He manufactures terrariums.
Is this a corporation or...
Yes, it's a corporation.
And do you know who the shareholders of the corporation are?
I believe it's my husband and I.
And where is this business located?
In Van Nuys.
Would you give me the address, please?
13859 Saticoy, that's Van Nuys.
And how long has this business been at that location?
At that location? Gosh, probably 4 years, I think. I'm not sure. 3 or 4 years.
And prior to that, was it at any other location?
Yes.
Where was it at?
It was in Los Angeles. It was at 2622 South La Cienega Boulevard.
And how long was it there, approximately?
10 years, I'm guessing.
How long has it been in total existence, the business?
I believe 20 years.
I may have asked you this question already, What is the date of your marriage?
June 12th, 1977.
I did ask you that. So your husband had this business before you were married?
Yes.
Did you have any interest in the business prior to your marriage?
What do you mean by interest?
Did you own the business?
No.
Let me finish. Or any part of it prior to your marriage?
No.
I was interested, though.
We get your drift.
Have you ever worked for the business?
I helped him out. I used to be in sales marketing for a bank, and I helped him out a little in sales.
When was this?
Before we were married.
Okay, so you haven't worked on the premises of the business since you were married?
Is this building shaking?
Please don't say that.
I just felt it move. No, I have not.
No further questions.
I have a few. When was that?
I stopped doing it a few years ago. 5 years ago.
And when was the last time you were employed by some other person or entity other than your husband's business?
Oh, before I was married, I was in banking.
Okay. And how long were you in banking?
Well, let's figure this out. I believe I was 17 when I started. I was in banking about 5 years.
Okay. And in what capacity did you work?
I was in a few different capacities. I started as a teller, then I was in the operations, and then I was in the marketing field.
Okay. And what banks did you work for?
I worked for the Bank of California as a teller and vaulter and in operations. And I was in marketing for Imperial Bank.
Were you ever involved in the loan department of any banks?
No.
Do you have a high school diploma?
Yes.
Where did you go to high school?
Birmingham.
That's in Encino here?
I think it's called Van Nuys.
Okay. When did you graduate from high school?
In 1972.
And did you attend college?
I went to some junior college.
Which one?
Valley College.
Okay. And did you obtain a degree there?
No, I went into banking.
Okay. Did you go to this junior college directly after you graduated from high school?
Yes.
And how long did you attend Valley College?
I don't even think I finished a year until I got a job in the bank.
And subsequent to attending Valley College, did you attend any other type of formal school, such as a trade school?
No.
Okay. Have you taken any correspondence courses since you were in college?
No.
Okay. Have you attended any vocational seminars since you were in college?
No.
Okay. I'm going to list the names of various parties to this lawsuit. I would like to, one by one, I'm going to ask you some questions regarding each of those parties. First of all, do you know an individual by the name of Herbert Jones?
He's my daddy?
Okay. And do you have a close relationship with him?
I think so.
Okay. Does he discuss with you his business on a regular basis?
No.
Okay. Do you know what business he's in currently?
He was a developer. He's retired.
Okay. When did he retire?
Oh, I don't know.
You have no idea?
I can't be exact there.
Well, was it within the last 10 years?
Yes.
Was it within the last 5 years?
Maybe.
Okay. And did he work for a particular company that you're aware of?
He was self-employed.
What was the name of his company that he worked with then?
ESL Development.
Okay. And what was his capacity, if you know, for that company?
He was the owner. He was the owner.
Okay. And do you know did he ever have any, within the last 5 years, strike that, do you know if that company is still in existence?
No, I know he's not building anymore, but I don't know if that company if he uses that name anymore.
Within the last 5 years, do you have any idea where he has operated that company, if he operated it?
Geographically, you mean?
Yeah.
Probably within his home.
Okay. And what is his current address?
I don't know it by heart. Canyon Crest Drive in Westlake. I don't know the number by heart.
Do you know how long he has lived there?
I think a year.
And do you know if he resides there with anybody else?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay. What is that person's name?
Elena.
Last name?
Oh, what's her last name? Smith? Smith? Something like that.
And where did he live before that?
He lived at 1409 South Wind Circle in Westlake.
And do you know how long he lived there, approximately?
15 years.
And during this 15 years, do you know if he lived with anybody else at that address?
Yeah, he did, with my mother.
And what is her name?
Naomi.
Okay. And do you communicate on a regular basis with your mother?
Yes.
How do you communicate with her?
What do you mean?
Do you write to her? Do you talk to her?
Oh, I talked to my mother.
Okay. And talking on the telephone?
Yes.
And do you know if she has any interest, legal interest, In other words, do you know if she is an owner of ESL Development Corporation?
I don't know. I don't know since they're divorced.
Well, before they were divorced, well, when they were divorced,
A year ago, I think.